The world news tonight at BGI TV currents. First are the major headlines. Tinubu holds first security meeting with service chiefs IGP. Tinubu appoints Gbajabia Miller Chief of Staff. FG striking health workers set to meet again. Fuel subsidy. Petrol price will come down naturally. Nnpc. And on sports, CAF salute Flying Eagles on victory against Argentina. Now the news in detail. The President, Bola Tinubu, is currently meeting the service chiefs led by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, at the State House, Abuja. Tinubu arrived at the villa at 10:53 a.m. on Thursday, went straight into a closed-door session with the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Awal Gambo, the Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Isiaka Amaho, and Inspector General of Police Usman Al-Kali Baba. Thursday's meeting is the first official engagement with the security men since assuming office on Monday. Although the meeting's agenda is not yet public, the meeting may feature briefings from each security chief to keep the President abreast with the state of the nation's security. In his inauguration address on Monday, Tinubu had promised Nigerians that security will be top priority for his administration. He said, "Security shall be the top priority of our administration because neither prosperity nor justice can prevail amid insecurity and violence. To effectively tackle this menace, we shall reform both our security doctrine and its architecture." On Wednesday, Tinubu received an audience the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), Abdurrashid Bawa, and Peng Qinghua, the special envoy of the Chinese President Xi Jinping, and vice chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress. On Tuesday, he met the Vice President Kashim Shettima, Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabia-Mila, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria Godwin Emefiele, Group CEO of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited Mele Kyari, amongst others. Going on to the next story. President Bola Tinubu has appointed the outgoing Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabia-Mila, as his Chief of Staff. He was introduced as the brand new Chief of Staff at the ongoing meeting between the President and the nation's security chiefs currently holding at the Presidential Villa Abuja on Thursday morning. And to the next story. Following the failure to reach an agreement in its last meeting, the federal government and the striking Joint Health Sector Union have agreed to meet again today. This comes after a week after leaders of GSU led the union to an indefinite strike following the failure of government to meet its demands. In a letter dated May 9, 2023, the leadership of GSU issued a 15-day ultimatum to the federal government over alleged inconsistencies of the government in the ongoing negotiations or to adjust the consolidated health salary structure for health workers on their platforms. The organization, which serves as an umbrella body of health workers, unions, and associations, noted that the government had shown tendencies to shift from their agreed terms and rules of engagement relating to non-discrimination in the determination of the wages and benefit packages of health workers in Nigeria. While highlighting their demands, the unions called on the federal government to consolidate on health salary structure as agreed in terms of the settlement of September 2017, which had lingered since 2014. They also urged the government to pay peculiar allowance to health workers under the aegis of GSU/AHP, as well as the immediate and unconditional implementation of the consultant cadre circular of pharmacists in all federal health institutions. Other demands include payment of all with health salaries of its members in federal medical centers in Owerri, Jos University Teaching Hospital, Lagos University Teaching Hospital, and their withheld April and May 2018 salaries. And to the next story. The Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL), Mr. Mele Kyari, has insisted that a competition among major players in the oil sector would force down the current price of premium motor spirits, known better as petrol, across the country. Kyari spoke on Thursday in an interview on Rise TV's morning show. Recall that a recent increase in the petrol pump price, occasioned by the discontinuance of petrol subsidies, saw queues return to fuel stations across Nigeria this week. The Nnpc had on Wednesday said it had adjusted the pump price of petrol to reflect the market realities. Several retail outlets sold the product between 550 naira and 800 naira in Abuja, Lagos, Ogun, and some other states across the federation. But Kyari believes the removal of the subsidies would create new entrants into the market and aid competition and phase out monopolies. Kyari said the beauty of this fuel subsidy removal is that there will be new entrants into the market because oil marketers companies reluctant to come into the market all along is the very fact of the subsidy regime that is in place. Moving on to the next story, as regards the National Assembly, the House of Representatives has asked President Bola Tinubu to declare a state of emergency on drug abuse in the country. This followed a motion of urgent national importance by a member of the House, Francis Agbo, drawing attention of the House to the effort of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, to rid the country of hard drugs. The House was also worried about the equipment and weapons available to NDLEA and asked for an increase in the budgetary allocation to the agency. The lawmakers want the NDLEA to be funded directly by the presidency. Meanwhile, the Night Out of Representatives will hold its valedictory session on Tuesday, June 6, 2023. And to the next story. The Plateau State House of Assembly has suspended all chairmen in the 17 local government area of the state. Information report that the decision was reached during a plenary session on Thursday, chaired by Speaker Abok Ayuba. The motion to suspend the local government bosses was initiated by Pierre Tiem, the esteemed representative of the Langtang North constituency. Tiem raised concerns regarding financial impropriety which had been levied against the local government officials through a petition submitted to the House. The lawmaker emphasized that the gravity of the allegations prompted intervention by the state governor, Caleb Mutfwang, who communicated his support for the motion. Following the successful passage of the motion, Speaker Ayuba announced the suspension of the council officials. He emphasized that they must promptly hand over all government properties to the Director of Personnel Management. Concurrently, an investigation into the allegation against them will commence. From Plateau State story, we go to Ogun State. Former Governor Benga Daniel of Ogun State said his successor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, took him to the Economic Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, but God delivered him from the case. Daniel served as governor of Ogun from 2003 to 2011, while Amosun succeeded him in 2011, serving as the governor of the state till 2019. Answering questions on Ogun State politics, Daniel, who is a senator-elect representing Ogun East, however, said he has resolved with the former governor, Amosun. Daniel said, I think a number of people got it all wrong. Amosun has long been my friend. He was one of the people who actually harassed me when I was out of government. Amosun took me to EFCC, but God delivered me. But at a stage in your life, you sit down and begin to ask what it's all about. I then came to the conclusion that there is no need for this war. When asked if he was in good terms with the reigning governor, Dapo Abiodun, Daniel said, I have resolved issues with everybody. There are no personal issues. Again. From Ogun State story, we go to the next story. Gunmen have killed 5 people in an attack on the Odirike Obi community in the Audaf West local government area of River State after the community allegedly failed to provide a sum of 1 million naira for their freedom. A member of the community who confirmed the incident also claimed the criminals came into the community on motorcycles and were armed with AK-47 rifles. The source, who spoke anonymously, said the victims were killed on their way back from their farmland. According to our source, the attack was carried out at about 5 p.m. on Tuesday. He said the families of the deceased have carried their bodies for burial. In the meantime, residents of the area and community have deserted the community and are calling on security agencies to come to their aid. The River State Police Command is yet to release an official statement about the incident so far. From River State, we go to Cameroon as our foreign story. Northern Cameroon officials have reportedly requested extra troops from their government and forces from neighboring Nigeria and Chad to be deployed to their border after new Boko Haram strikes killed at least 12 people, including 6 soldiers, on Tuesday. Midiawa Bakari, the governor of Cameroon's far north region, which shares a border with Chad and Nigeria, revealed on Wednesday that hundreds of heavily armed Islamist radicals had infiltrated the dangerous Lake Chad region, attacking, plundering, and spreading fear. According to Voice of America on Wednesday, Mr. Bakari said President Paul Biya ordered officials and troops in Cameroon's far north region to hold an emergency crisis meeting and ensure that armed Islamist extremists infiltrating the volatile Lake Chad region are stopped. He said Mr. Biya ordered a crisis meeting after several hundred militants killed 3 soldiers, 2 customs officers, and 2 civilians in Tuesday's surprise attacks on Cameroon government troops stationed in the northern towns of Mora and Zigagwe. They share a border with Nigeria and Chad. Mr. Bakari said though weakened, Boko Haram was still attacking communities to kill their opponent and steal cattle, food, and money. The Cameroonian military said the troops found 5 other civilian corpses in the bush near Zigagwe and several dozen houses and government buildings destroyed by the insurgents. Military officials claimed soldiers killed several insurgents along the border with Nigeria and Chad, but gave no details. From that dreaded story on the foreign scene, we go to sports story. Confederation of African Football (CAF) has congratulated Nigeria's Flying Eagles following their shock win against host Argentina at the 2023 Under-20 World Cup. Despite going into Wednesday's round of 16 clash as underdogs, the Flying Eagles shocked Argentina 2-0. Ibrahim Mohamed gave the Nigerian team the lead in the 64th minute before Aliru Sarki made it 2-0 on 91st minute. It was the Flying Eagles' first win against Argentina at the Under-20 World Cup and also their first against a South American country in the competition. Knockout host on to the quarters, CAF wrote on Twitter. It's an African party in South America, Niger forever and Niger fever with the flag green, white, green. The last time the Flying Eagles made it to the quarterfinals of the Under-20 World Cup was at 2011 edition in Colombia. With our sports story, we end the world news at BGI TV Current. Before we go, some major headlines. Tinubu hold forced security meeting with service chiefs, IGP. Also, breaking, Tinubu appoints Gbajabiamila Chief of Staffs. FG, striking health workers said to meet again today. We're also brought to you as regards the fuel increase price. Petrol price will come down naturally, Nnpc stated. And on sports, CAF salute Flying Eagles on victory against Argentina. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advertisement of goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawa. Good evening.